doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. I drink a bottle of Hennessy you got on your shelf, so just let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty, pronounced with the umpty. Yo, ladies.
All right, guys, what we're going to do today is do a demo for you guys that you can study with. And this demo, some parts of it are going to be just a little more advanced. Always remember that all you have to do is just read the book. And what we want to do is just show you the flow of the demo, okay? We're going to use voice inflection. We're going to show you how to pull leads, get green lights, and everything like that, okay? And we're just going to start right where we begin, and as we just walked in to a house. And I'm here with Lauren, and she's going to be my prospect today, okay? All right, so I just walked in Lauren's home, okay? And I've just met her for the first time. So, Lauren, my name's Tim. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I'm doing very well. Thanks for inviting me in your home today.
Sure.
You have a beautiful home. How long have you lived here?
Moved in April.
Moved here in April, okay? Are you from the Nashville area?
Yep, born and raised.
Born and raised. Fantastic. So you got a big family here?
Yeah, pretty big.
You do? So Christmas, y'all pretty much get together. How many brothers and sisters you got?
I have two brothers.
Two brothers. Okay, fantastic. That's awesome. Where do you work at?
I work for Superior Fire Safety.
Superior Fire Safety. How long have you been with that company?
Going on 8 years.
8 years. Well, girl, you know how to keep a job then, don't you?
Pretty good at it.
Okay, that's awesome. What about church?
I go to Cornerstone in Madison.
Okay, Cornerstone. Fantastic. Is that a big church or a small church?
It's about 7,000 people.
That's a big church,
big
and huh?
church,
My
yeah.
daughter says that's a big one. Huh?
Okay, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, good deal. What about the company you work at? Is that a big company or a small company?
We're in all 50 states and 2 foreign countries, so.
Okay, so that's a big
Pretty
company
big,
too
yeah.
then. All right, well great. Well, you've been there a while and you know lots of people, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, well great. Well, let me tell you about me.
Okay.
My name is Tim. I'm 40 years young, and I went to college in Weatherford, Texas to be a firefighter, and I didn't look like this. Right? I then went to college. I got my airframe and power plant license, and I worked on major airliners. And I worked on the fire suppression systems there. September the 10th, I had a job. 9/11, I lost that job. My family's real big in the Sonic drive-in business. I literally grew up in a Sonic drive-in. That's why I look like this, all right? But I found this company part-time, fell in love with it, and started making twice as much money part-time as I did full-time. And then now I'm fixing to start, I think, my 17th year doing it. And just my team alone, we've saved 103 people from dying in house fires. So we're very proud of what we do, and we're very proud of how we do it. Now, what we're going to do here today is very elementary. I'm going to teach you a lot of great things about fire. I'm going to teach you some great things to keep your home from catching on fire. And then I'm going to teach you some great things that if it is on fire will help your family get out of here a lot faster and safer, okay? Now, Lauren, our company carries a product line. You'll see that here today. And if you're interested in them, that's fantastic. If you're not, that's okay too, all right? I ain't been mad at nobody in 17 years. Don't plan on starting tonight, all right? But we'll have a good time. I do set a few small fires, all right? And I do burn down one house a year. I've already done that this year, but we should be okay, all right?
Okay.
But we'll go ahead and get started. Sound good?
Sure.
All right, my first question for you, young lady, is do you have a fire extinguisher in this home?
Yes.
You do. Do you
Yes.
know where it is?
No.
All right, I'm going to need to see you after class then, all right? Fantastic. If you knew where it was, would you know how to use it?
No.
All right, good deal. Well, I'm going to show you how to use one, okay? The word you want to remember is pass, P-A-S-S. P stands for pull the pin. You've got to pull the pin. A stands for aim. If the chair's on fire, aim at the chair. The first S is squeeze, and then the last S is you just kind of sweep back and forth. Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. And that's the word pass, okay? That'll kind of help you remember. Now, have you ever sprayed a dry chemical fire extinguisher?
No.
That's the kind that most people have, and it's an ABC dry chemical powdered fire extinguisher, and they're absolutely phenomenal fire extinguishers to have. But one thing I want you to know about them is that we buy them, we set them under the sink, and then they sit there day after day, month after month, and year after year. And that powder can and will powder down like the sugar in your sugar bowl. So once a year, Lauren, you need to pick that thing up, turn it over and bang on it and bust that stuff loose, okay? Even if it shows it's pressurized, if the powder's in one piece, it can't come out of that little bitty hole, okay? So you gotta bust that stuff loose. Now I'm gonna show you a fire extinguisher, probably unlike any other fire extinguisher you've ever seen in the fire industry, and it's called Halotron. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
In the fire industry, this is probably one of the most amazing products I've ever seen. It's stronger than a dry chemical, and it makes absolutely no mess whatsoever, okay? Would you like to see it? Say yes.
Sure.
All right, fantastic. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little napkin right here. There it is right there. And I'm going to spray just a little bit of this in the bottom of this jar. All right, now in the bottom of that jar you can see a liquid, am I correct? That is not the Halotron that we want you to see. In order to see the Halotron, I have got to set a fire. Now watch what I do. All I'm going to do is just take the tip of this napkin right here, put it on the board there. I'm going to take the tip of this napkin, and then all I'm going to do is stick it right in the top of the jar. Now I never made it to the liquid. I'll show you again. It has 4 times the knockdown power, and it makes absolutely no mess whatsoever. Now, Lauren, smoke goes after beauty. That's why it's leaving me headed for you, okay? But now you can see the Halotron in the jar, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to use that smoke to put out a fire right there, just like that, okay? And I truly believe, girl, that this fire extinguisher is going to revolutionize the way people put out fires in their homes for 2 reasons. The first reason is because of its size. Women, children, elderly, disabled, it doesn't matter. Anybody can use this fire extinguisher. And then the next reason is because of what's inside it, which is the Halotron. Now, you have a fire extinguisher, but you don't know where it is. But if you did know, if you had one, where would you put it? If you had one fire extinguisher in your home, where would you put it? If you only had one.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen. And that's an absolutely phenomenal place to have one. And that we recommend you have one there. But let me make a suggestion to you. People die in house fires from 11 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning. And if a fire breaks out in your home in the middle of the night and you need it to get out alive with, if it's in the boat, the garage, or your kitchen, you may never get your hands on it, okay? So what we recommend you do is keep one in your bedroom, the master bedroom. And that's what this fire extinguisher is designed as. The only time you ever want to use this fire extinguisher is when you need to get to that 2-year-old beautiful baby girl that you have, okay? When there's a fire, you want to make a path, get to your loved one, and get out alive, okay? Absolutely phenomenal product to have in your home today. Okay, excuse me. Now, Lauren, this is what we recommend for your kitchen as a backup to your fire extinguisher. Obviously, you want a fire extinguisher in your kitchen, and we recommend it be an ABC dry chemical, and we have those, but we also recommend you have a fire blanket. Now, this hangs in your pantry, in your cabinet, and women love the looks of them so much, Lauren, that they're covering their kids' pictures on their refrigerator. I'm just kidding. They're not doing that. That's a joke. Now, this one's been opened 900 times, and I can't get it back in there like it was the first time. But this is hanging on the pantry, in the pantry, fire on the stove, and you pull the blanket. Now, when the blanket comes out, you're going to be able to put it in your hand, and it'll be in your hand just like so. So if this is your stove and your stove's on fire, the fire can't get who?
Me.
You're completely protected, and all you do is just lay that on the pan, and then you turn the heat off, and then you back up, and then the blanket will completely put the fire out. It is completely fire resistant. It is the safest and cleanest way to put out a fire on your stove today, and it covers most stove tops in America, okay? Now, sometimes we go in people's homes and they have them big industrialized stoves, and all we tell them is don't catch both sides on fire at the same time. Okay?
Okay.
That's all we tell them people. Now, me and my wife, when we found out we were having a baby, we started putting that nursery together, and the first thing my wife put in the nursery was a fire blanket. And I was like, well, babe, that goes in the kitchen. She said, absolutely not. She said if there's a house fire, that she was going to wrap that baby in it. And I thought that's another great way that you could use this product also. So absolutely phenomenal product to have in your home. Okay. Now, obviously, you would want a dry chemical to back this up, because if the stove's already reached, the fire's already reached the cabinets, it's probably a little bit too late for this. Okay. But it is the safest and cleanest way to put out a fire on your stove today. All right, I'll show you one more, and then we'll move on. Have you ever heard of a product called Burn Free?
No.
All right alongside that little bitty fire extinguisher, this is probably one of the most amazing products I've ever seen, and it's a burn treatment for when you get burned, okay? Now, I'd love to demonstrate it for you. If you would like to see it, say yes.
Sure.
All right, the only thing about that is me or you's got to get burnt.
I pick you.
All right, you pick me, fair enough. They always pick the fat salesman, all right, but anyways, fair enough. How about we use this thermometer?
Okay.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna light this thermometer, and I want you to kind of tell me just when you think it's hot, okay?
Okay.
All right, now, burn gel is a phenomenal product. Our military uses it, the Secret Service uses it, the FBI uses it. It's starting to show up in fire departments, ambulances, hospitals all across the country. Now, when you get burnt, the reason it hurts you so bad is because there's heat still in it and it's still continuing to burn you. You've heard of degrees of burn, right? First degree, second degree, things like that. Well, the gel that's on this pad instantly absorbs every ounce of that heat.
It's pretty hot.
It's pretty hot now? All right, so tell me when it's hot, okay, that you know it would really burn you. So the gel instantly absorbs every ounce of that heat, all right? Now,
It'll go.
okay, very good. We'll just let it keep going.
Okay.
It works really well on any kind of burns you got. Severe burns, minor burns, sunburns, heartburn, drink it. Okay, I'm just kidding, don't drink it, all right? But you've heard of when you get burnt, the reason it hurts you so bad is there's heat still in it, right? And it's continuing to burn you. Well, there's degrees of burn. You've heard of first degree, second degree. Well, the gel instantly absorbs that out of your body. Well, the tip of my thermometer is pretty red hot now, so we think it would burn us pretty good. Now, here's what I'm going to do, Lauren. I'm going to stick it in that bottle of gel, and I want you to notice two things. The first thing I want you to notice is the sound when I stick it in the gel. And the second thing I want you to notice is how fast that needle drops, okay? Are you ready? Here we go. Look at how fast it's pulling that heat out of that thermometer. And that's how fast it pulls the heat out of your body, okay? Absolutely phenomenal product. And now that the gel's coating the thermometer, it's not barely moving at all, if any. So the gel is absorbing the heat. Absolutely phenomenal product to have in your home today, okay? And it's called Burn Free. And it's a burn treatment. Now, Lauren, if you're already burnt to a second degree burn, it's not going to eliminate the burn. It's just going to keep it from becoming a third degree burn. You know what I'm saying? So the sooner you get it on, the better it's going to be, okay? So now let me ask you this question, Lauren. If I was able to give you a sample of this for free tonight, if my boss was kind enough to pull it out of my check, and I could give this for free to you, would you like a sample of it?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to do my best to see if I can get that done for you, okay? So far, so good?
Yeah.
Have you learned anything you didn't know before I got here?
Definitely.
All right, that's what it's all about. All right, good deal. Let me set up my little book here, and then we are going to tell you a little bit about our company. Okay? All right. The first thing I'd like to do, Ms. Humphrey, is tell you a little bit about our company. We are Superior Fire Safety, and our office is in Lebanon, Tennessee, and we're authorized dealers of these brands of products, and our products have been around as long as the 1970, almost 50 years, okay? Now, there are millions of satisfied customers, while at the same time, millions more are in need, okay? Now, the first thing I'd like to do is tell you thank you just for letting us come by, and we've brought you a gift. You don't mind if I give you a gift, do you?
No, not at all.
All right, so let me do that now. This right here is a 167-piece emergency preparedness kit. Now, what this is a first aid kit on steroids. It is 167 pieces of absolute fabulousness, all right? Everything you need in the time of emergency is in here, okay? This has radio, this has glow sticks, whistles, gauze, salves, you name it. Girl, the thing's even got an iPad in it, right? Now, it's not an Apple iPad, it's just a pad you kind of put over your eye. If you, that's my joke, but anyway.
I got it.
All right, but this is yours just for your time tonight, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is set this over here away from us, because half the time I take them with me and I have to end up bringing them back, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to set this over here, all right? Very good. And you're more than welcome to look at that later, okay? All right, now the next thing I want you to know is that our company is growing and we need your help, and we're looking for full and part-time people. Now, Lauren, you may not be interested, okay? But we've seen part-timers earn as much as $600 a month, and full-timers earn even more. Again, now you may not be interested, but you may know someone who is, okay? Now let me show you how easy this is. All we have to do is go read the book. All right, they've got this to where I can even do it. I've done this 17 years, and you could go do it tonight and just know as much as I do. And again, girl, you may not be interested, but maybe somebody to go to church with, maybe somebody you work with mentioned they need a great part-time gig, or maybe a college student. This is the worst part of my job, Lauren. I go in beautiful homes with wonderful people and make their homes safer, okay? And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you a video that tells a little bit more about our company, okay? And right here, guys, I do not show the EPK video. I show the recruiting video, okay? And I move my book out of the way, and I put just my DVD player right there, okay? Because I just want them focused on this, all right? And then when I'm done with the DVD player, I set that out of the way, and then I bring this back, okay? Now, Lauren, that was a little bit about our company, okay? We also offer reward programs just for helping us share our valuable information, okay? And would you do me a favor, remind me to go over the opportunity brochure and the rewards program before I leave?
Sure.
Great. I'm going to set my keys right over here on top of it, and I got this brochures right down here, okay? Now, last and most important, we're going to show you how to better prepare and protect your family from a disaster, okay? Now, Lauren, we're also proud to support and be members of all of these organizations. Here's just a few: the Fallen Heroes Scholarship Fund, the Phoenix Society for Burn Survivors, and the Shriners Hospital for Children, because they do so much for the children. So we like to support them. We also do complimentary safety meetings for companies and organizations. Some of them are here. Do y'all have safety meetings or in-services where you work?
We do.
You do? Okay, great. If they do and you help us get a safety meeting, we can help you get nice gifts. Now, that's called bribery,
Okay.
but it works, okay?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, just so you know, all of the information that I'm sharing with you tonight, Lauren, comes from our experts. This information comes from people who really know what they're talking about. The research has been done from all of these organizations, but the one we want to focus on is actual events that happen to real people just like you and me, okay? So let's get started. Now, let's talk about the fire problem. Lauren, there are 4 misconceptions that people in America have about home fires today, and the first one is it won't happen to me. You know, I've never met anyone who thought they would have a fire. 17 years, I've never walked in a house and said I'm fixing to have my fire. They always think it's going to happen to somebody who smokes, people with low incomes, high incomes, kids, or the elderly, but they always say it'll never happen to me. No one ever thinks these things will happen until when? Until it happens. Lauren, did you know that 8 out of 10 fire deaths occur in our home? 8 out of 10. And then 8 out of 10 fire deaths occur in our home, and nighttime fires are the most deadly. Nighttime ones. Fire departments respond to a fire every 24 seconds, and a home fire kills an average of 7 people, and almost 50 people are injured every day. Isn't that amazing? What that means in the time it takes to go through this information, that at least 2 people could be hurt or lose their life in a house fire. Let me ask you a question. Lauren, could you have a fire?
Definitely.
When? When do you think the worst time to have a fire would be?
When we're sleeping.
Why do you think that's the worst time?
Because we're sleeping.
And we're not aware, are we?
No.
So we agree we can have a fire anytime and anywhere in our home, right? So let's talk about where a fire could start in our home. Do you think you could have a fire in your kitchen? What do you think's in your kitchen that could start a fire?
Coffee pot.
Absolutely.
Got KitchenAid mixer. Got microwave. Got stove. All of it.
Lauren, did you know millions of dishwashers, fridges, stoves, coffee pots, other appliances have been recalled? Why do you think they recall appliances like that?
Because they catch on fire.
Because they pose a safety hazard. You're absolutely correct. Did you know every year thousands of garage fires in the United States, they have thousands of garage fires in the United States alone?
Looks like my garage.
It just looks like your garage, huh? Did you know that you're not supposed to put a smoke alarm in a garage? Here's why. A smoke alarm can malfunction due to the temperature differentials and the dust. The moistures, the dust, the dirt daubers, all of them moving in there, right? So how would you find out about a fire in your garage? And you know what's sad is the last house I lived in, my bedroom and my daughter's bedroom was right above our garage, and our breaker box and water heater was in there. Isn't that scary?
That is scary.
What do you think is the leading cause of fires in a laundry room?
Dryer.
A dryer, absolutely. And Lauren, I bet you're just like me. Every time we do a load, we'll take that lint out of that lint trap, don't we? But did you know our dryers are still full of dust and lint, and that lint is highly flammable and it can start a fire in our dryer at any time? Let's talk about bedrooms. This is what surprised me. Most home fire deaths occur between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. when people are sleeping. Now listen to this. One out of four home fire deaths are caused by bedroom fires. And more than 2 out of 3 children don't wake up from the sound from a smoke alarm. Isn't that amazing? In our bedrooms, I want you to think about all the things that are in your room today that could start a fire that your grandparents didn't have. What are some of those things you got in your room today?
Cell phone.
Yep.
Camera system.
Yep.
Xbox. Phone charger.
Absolutely. We got television, cell phones, video games, laptops, all that stuff to do our hair with now, all that stuff, don't we? Absolutely. One of the most dangerous fires you could have in your home is an attic or a basement fire. What do you think could start a fire in your attic?
That's where all the wiring is.
Absolutely. Think about this. Lightning strikes, ceiling fans, bathroom fans, wall sockets, light switches, and all the wires in your walls, ceilings, and subfloors. How many wires, Lauren, do you think you have in unseen places? Bunch. You know, it's a bunch. And did you know most people find out a fire in their attic one of 2 ways? First way is if somebody drives by, sees the roof, and beats on the door. And then what do you think the second way is?
And it falls in on you.
Absolutely. And it's way too late, isn't it? Way too late. You know, we're only a matter of seconds away from having a fire from one of 3 ways. One absent-minded moment, like stepping away from a stove, a faulty or recalled product that could catch fire, or a natural disaster like a lightning striking our home. And none of these are in our control. You know it? None of them. The second misconception is people believe there's plenty of time to escape. Listen to this. According to the Underwriters Laboratory, homes burns 8 times faster today than homes we grew up in. Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Let me tell you why. It's because your furniture's synthetic, your floors are synthetics, and your curtains are synthetics. Just about everything in our home burns faster and hotter. Girl, your wood ain't even natural wood no more. It's manufactured wood chips with glue pressed together. Okay? They don't even make furniture like that no more. And what I'm going to do is show you a video that shows how fire that used to take up to 14 minutes to engulf a room now only takes 3 to 4 minutes to engulf a room. And this is called the legacy video, okay? Now what I do right here is show the legacy video, all right? I didn't know it was that fast, did you?
No.
You know, in reality, anyone can have a fire and there's little time to escape. We just saw in that video that it shows we have as little as 2 minutes. And there are 5 ways you could die in a house fire. You know, most people think smoke is the #1 killer, but fire needs 3 things: heat, fuel, and what?
Oxygen.
Oxygen, that's right. Now, the leading cause of death in fires today is asphyxiation, or that's another word for lack of oxygen. The fire consumes the oxygen in the air, and that's why firefighters wear oxygen masks and gear that cost thousands of dollars. Think about it, Lauren. In your home, you only have so much oxygen. And when a fire starts, it needs it to breathe to stay alive. Well, guess who else needs to breathe to stay alive? You do, absolutely. And who do you think's going to win that battle for the oxygen? That fire is, girl, and that's right. In fact, the fire doesn't even need to reach you to harm you. Take a look at this chart right here. As the fire burns in your home, your oxygen level drops. And at 10%, you have mental failure and then death occurs. At what point of this chart do you want to know about your fire?
21.
Absolutely. And the third misconception is we are prepared. All right. Now, in the little time that I have with you today, it's my job to be sure that you and the people you care about are prepared for a fire. So we brought you some gifts to help. Okay. This right here is what is called a people locator sticker. All right. By putting these on your bedroom windows, it saves valuable time. First responders can pinpoint your bedrooms and help you get out a lot quicker. All right. Next, we have what is called a home safety checklist. This right here, it says if you can answer yes to every question, I congratulate you. But if you answer no to any question, get busy, correct the condition. Okay. Now, inside the checklist, you'll find that it says Operation Edith. Edith stands for exit drills inside the home. Now, do you remember why nighttime fires were the most deadly?
Because you're asleep.
Because we're asleep, and we're not prepared for a fire while we're asleep, are we? So experts tell us to have and practice fire drills, okay? And you'll notice that we just given you everything you need to have and practice a fire drill. Now, guys, the book tells you to hand this to them. Do not ever hand this to them, because if you do, one of them's going to start reading it and you're going to lose one of them in your demo, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this over there with your gift, because again, half the time I take them with me and I have to end up bringing them back, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to set this right over here with your gift.
Okay.
All right, fantastic. Now, let me ask you this question. Lauren, if this was your home and you had a house fire and Tim went out the front and you and Katie went out the back and you didn't see Tim, what would you think?
He was still inside.
He was still inside. And what might you do?
I would go in.
You would go in. And you know the saddest part about that scenario, Lauren, I bet that baby follows you everywhere she goes. And I bet that baby could follow you right back in that house, couldn't she? Do you guys have a meeting spot outside? Let's set that now. I don't care what time of the day it is. I don't care where the fire's at. I don't care how big it is. I don't care what time of the day it is. I don't care which door window you go out of. Where's one spot y'all could meet if your house ever caught on fire?
Our mailbox.
Mailbox. I'm gonna go over there and write that on your Operation Edith, okay? All right, fantastic. Make sure everybody in the home, in the family knows that the mailbox is the meeting spot, okay? The fourth misconception is our alarms will always go off in time. And you've probably seen reports on TV that shows the failure rates of smoke alarms. They say if you have the kind of smoke detector sold in most stores, it may not go off. You've probably seen that. In fact, the most common type of smoke detector has an alarming failure rate. Experts found as much as 30 minutes between the activation of different types of technology in smoke alarms. Let me ask you this question. Do you remember when everybody would cook and the alarms would go off and everybody was standing underneath them, fanning them, right? Everybody's member of the towel brigade, wasn't it? They were cooking bacon or toast or even the steam from the shower. So basically, we believe our smoke alarms are going to work in a house fire because it goes off when we cook bacon or toast, but we couldn't be further from the truth. Wouldn't you agree with me that there's a big difference between the smoke coming off toast and then the smoke coming off of a burning couch? Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to show you a video here that tells you the difference in those type of smoke particles. All right, then I'm going to play the ionization video, okay? All right, now, I got a couple of alarms here that I want to show you. This is one they were putting in homes probably 10 years ago. This is one they were put in homes if you moved to Nashville and become a country singer and built a $5 million home. This is one they put in your home today. And this is one that if you had a burglar system or a monitored system, okay? Now they all look different on the outside, but here's what I want you to understand. The majority of the alarms use the exact same technology on the inside, okay? Now, where do you go down and buy these alarms?
Walmart.
Walmart. And why do we buy them there?
Because they're there and they're cheap.
They're cheap, absolutely. And where do you think all these alarms are made? Take a guess.
China.
You're right. And if you went to Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart today, you can buy one. And inside the box, you're going to find an alarm, the battery, and the alarm warranty. And you won't believe what the warranty says about their own alarms. Have you ever read it?
Yep.
All right, tonight's your lucky night. Because we're going to read this whole thing. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. I'm just going to read a couple of spots, okay? But I want you to listen to what this company's going to say about the product, Lauren, that we use to protect our family. It says smoke detectors have played a key role in reducing home fire deaths in the United States. However, according to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, an agency of the United States government, they may not go off or give early enough warning in as many as 35% of all fires. How many fires does it take to kill you?
Half of one.
That's right. The next thing is this. Smoke detectors are not foolproof. Like all other electronic devices, smoke detectors have limitations. Smoke detectors may not sense every kind of fire every time. They cannot be expected to sense a dangerous fire. They cannot be expected to sense a fire caused by carelessness or safety hazards. They may not give early warning of a fast-growing fire caused by smoking in bed, violent explosions, escaping gas, poor storage of flammable liquids, overload electrical circuits, children playing with matches or lighters, or a person who sets fires on purpose. Them are the type they don't cover. Okay? Now, Lauren, do you have alarms in your home now? Mm-hmm. What rooms are they in? Tell me where they're located. What rooms are they hanging in?
All of them. We got them in each bedroom,
Okay.
the hallway,
Great place.
the kitchen,
Fantastic.
the bathroom,
Great place.
all of it.
All right, I'm going to tell you where you can't put them, okay? Pay attention. Areas to avoid include kitchens, garages, near furnaces, hot water heaters or space heaters, in airstreams passing by kitchens, in very damp or humid areas or near a bathroom with a shower, in very cold or hot areas, in dusty or dirty areas, near fresh air vents or drafty areas, in dead air spaces, in rooms that have ceiling fans, in insect-infested areas or near fluorescent light. That's where you can't put.
Where else you gonna put it?
That's right. I'll read one more statement and then we'll move on. If the temperature goes above or below the operating range of your smoke detector, it will not work properly. The temperature range for your smoke detector is 40 degrees to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. How many house fires burn under 100 degrees? Not one. Now, Lauren, I understand their lawyers put this here. I get it. But why do you think their lawyers put that in there?
So they can't get sued.
They can't get sued because they know you have a problem before you know you have a problem, okay? Let me tell you just a couple of more things about your alarm most people don't know. If your alarms are turning yellow, they don't make them in yellow. You can't go buy a yellow one. It's just because the plastic they're using, it's been there so long, it's beginning to break down. The next thing you need to know is that all of the alarms have an expiration date on them. Okay, because the americium 241, it breaks down, okay? So you always want to make sure that your alarms are up to date, okay? Make sense? All right, good deal. Now, here's some examples of families that had store-bought alarms the night of their fire. Take a look at the article on the left-hand side. The article's an electrical short caused the fire where a doctor and his family died. Lauren, the only survivor was a 10-year-old girl named Alexis. Could you imagine going to bed at 10, waking up and living in her world? She said the sounds from her brother woke her, not the alarms, because that's where the fire started, was in her brother's room. The article on the right reads, 4 kids died in this house fire after they been checked by the firefighters. The fire department had checked their home and tested their alarms, and there was nothing they could do. The fire hadn't started yet, okay? This mom made it out. She said the store-bought alarms never went off. The fire started in the wall from an overloaded electrical circuit, okay? Both of these families had store-bought alarms in their home, and their alarms never went off. This mother's name right here is Amanda, and she lost 4 children in her fire. She remembers waking up being surrounded by thick black smoke. She remembers trying to get to her babies, but she couldn't because the stairs were on fire. She said she had your average generic smoke detectors that you can buy at any basic store. She also said that the smoke alarms never went off. You know, Lauren, all of these families had 3 things in common. They had a fire, they all had smoke alarms, and somebody lost their life. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a video, okay? And I want you to pay real close attention to what the fire officials are going to say in this video about how long it takes for the smoke alarms to go off and how little time we have to get out. Now, Lauren, you're also going to hear from the mother we just talked about, Amanda, who lost her children in that house fire. And girl, it's an emotional video, okay? But she shares her story with the hope that no other family will ever have to live through what she does. All I ask is that you watch this video with an open heart and an open mind, because it may literally just save your life, okay? And then I show the video problem decades in the making, okay? The one with Amanda Deputy, okay? That video showed that the research of the ionization alarms, the type found in over 90% of our homes today, Lauren, that has a 55% probability of failure in a smoldering fire, okay? Now, the night of your fire, one of 2 things is going to happen. You're either going to get out or you don't get out. So the question is this: the night of your fire, do you want something that might work, or do you want something that will work?
That will work.
Yeah. Let me share with you something that will work. It's new and it's better than the bare minimum required by law, and it's a home safe network, and we call it OmniShield. Okay? Now, our network senses smoke. Now, guys, here's what I'm going to do. I want you to understand that in the book is more than enough for you to demo the alarms, okay? But what I'm going to do for the training video is I'm going to demo the alarms and just give you more information of in-depth of questions you may be asked, some things like that that can help you, okay, that I just wanted on camera, okay? So I'm going to demo the alarms, but please understand, reading the book is more than enough, and it's a great way to demo our product, okay? All right, so the first thing I want you to notice about our smoke alarm is that it has large vents that goes all the way around it. Lauren, why in the world would you ever imagine it we would have done something like that?
There's smoke, maybe you know?
Yeah, so to let smoke in there, who would have ever thought of doing something like that, right? All right, the next thing I want you to notice is that the alarms are portable. 2 screws up, 2 screws down, and then it simply just locks on the ceiling so it doesn't fall off, okay? Now, the next thing, let's talk about how they're powered. There are 3 ways you can power an alarm in America. One that just uses a battery, one that is hardwired with battery backup, and one that is just hardwired. Now, all 3 of these ways have failed the family at one time or another. Now, our company chose not to use any of those power sources. What our company did is went and found an industrialized manganese lithium battery, and they embedded it in that alarm. You can't get to it, you can't change it. All you do is activate it with that switch. Now, once you activate that switch, the battery will power that alarm for 20 years. 20 years you put it up and it rocks and rolls. Now, the next thing I want you to notice is that we have a 10-year battery replacement sticker. Let me tell you why we have a 10-year sticker with a 20-year battery. There is a company called the National Fire Protection Association, and they wrote a law book called the NFPA Code Book 72 that governs our industry, okay? And in that law book, it says that you have to upgrade your alarms. They recommend you upgrade your alarms every 10 years because the americium in the ionization alarm starts breaking down every 10 years. They have never seen an alarm last 20 years, and they're not going to rewrite the law book for one alarm, okay? Now, for us to get a sticker from Underwriters Laboratory and for us to fall under the umbrella of that law book, we have to have a 10-year sticker. And that's why we have that, okay? But the battery will last 20 years. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. The next thing, let's talk about this. If you had a ceiling fan in your home and you turned it on for 2 years and then turned it off, what would the edge of them blades look like? It'd be dusty, wouldn't it? And the same thing happens to these fire alarms. And I don't know if you know this, but in that owner's manual, it tells us we have to vacuum these out monthly. How many months are you behind?
All of them.
All of them, that's right. So how in the world can we open an alarm this much and make it last 20 years? And how we did that is we made the smoke chamber removable and water washable. That's the most important part, okay? You remove it, wash it, and then it'll tell you when it's dirty and you snap it back in just like a gas cap, okay? Pretty cool. Now, let's talk about the way this alarm detects fire. This alarm detects fire 3 ways, not 1 but 3. The first way is by smoke. When 2% smoke enters into the alarm, it will activate, and it does not use ionization technology. The best way I know how to explain it, you ever went to a grocery store, walk up to the door, and then the door automatically opened for you? Okay, black box above the door, light source hitting the ground, body breaks the beam, the door opens, right? Same thing happens in this alarm, but we have the highest optics that are available right above my finger, okay? So you saw in the video, the ionization can only take a bunch of small particles, but it has a hard time protecting a few big ones. This alarm doesn't care how many, what size, it will literally see the smoke, okay? The next way, these alarms are now computers. They have microprocessors in them, and they're connected to a heat sensor, and it monitors the ceiling temperature of your home two ways. The first way is called rate of rise detection. Here's how that works. Lauren, if your ceiling temperature ever reaches 74 degrees, the alarms really start paying attention, but they don't activate the alarm. And then anywhere above 74, if your temperature goes up 20 degrees within 60 seconds, the alarms will detect that temperature differential that fast, and then they'll activate the alarm, okay? The third and final way is called fixed temperature, and it works just like a sprinkler head. At 135 degrees, we don't care if it takes a minute or a year to get there. At 135 degrees, the alarms will activate, okay? Now let me show you why that's so important. People say, Tim, well, I have a smoke alarm, and if there's fire, there's smoke. Do you believe that? Sounds logical, don't it? But tell me when you see smoke.
No.
How can your smoke detector detect that fire? It can't. See, there's two types of fires you can have, Lauren. A rapid high heat one, and then a slow smoldering one. And that alarm right there will instantly detect both, okay? Because that's why it's so important to have smoke, rate of rise, and fixed temperature. Your alarm has a lifetime warranty. Your alarm has a lifetime fire replacement warranty, and your alarm is handmade right here in America, okay? Now, do you have gas appliances?
Yes.
You do. All right, well, we highly recommend you have a carbon monoxide alarm. This is the fastest responding carbon monoxide alarm on the market today. It will detect levels of carbon monoxide before it ever starts affecting you. It uses a oscillating quartz crystal to detect it, okay? It also has the microprocessor. It can detect fire also. It has the 20-year battery. It's portable, and it's handmade right here in America also, okay? Last and certainly not least, we have a heat alarm. Now this only does heat. It don't do smoke, it don't do CO, it only does heat. Why do we have this one? This one is designed to go where this one cannot. Your kitchen. You don't want a smoke alarm in your kitchen. I ain't talking about you cooking, but every time we cook, they could go off, right? All right. That's where this one goes. Girl, you can cook, bake, broil all day long. This alarm will never go off until your ceiling temperature is 117 degrees. Your garage, dirt daubers, moisture, the temperature, the dust, it'll destroy them eventually. This one is completely sealed. Nothing can move in, okay? Your attic. Ms. Humphrey, if you have a fire inside your home tonight, the alarms you have a 50-50 chance of working. But if it's in your attic, how you gonna know? Somebody beats on the door, and then again, what's the second way? When it falls in, we don't want to wait that long. So that's why we put a heat alarm in there. You can set it for 3 temperatures, 117 for the kitchen, 135 for a garage, and 175 for your attic to hold that summertime heat. Now it's portable, okay? 20-year battery, lifetime warranty, lifetime fireplace warranty, and it's handmade right here in America. All right, now, people always ask me, Tim, how in the world am I going to hear an alarm in my attic? You're not unless you have these. The last two features I'm going to tell you about are the most amazing features in alarm I've ever seen. They have interlinked technology with the event positioning system. Now, Lauren, when they said that to me, right over my head, right? You've heard people graduate college magna cum laude. Well, I got out of high school, girl, thank the Lord. I barely made it, all right? Now, I told the engineers, you're just going to have to explain that to where I can understand it. Here's what they said. They said, Tim, them computers have their own radio frequency, and when one goes off, they all go off. And I said, man, that's phenomenal. They said, no, sir, the next part's what's phenomenal. When you wake up and every sensor in your home is activating, all you have to do is push any button, and then they built a button that sits right on your nightstand. You roll over and hit that button, it instantly makes every alarm in your home stop sounding except the one that originally activated, okay? Now, they said if we're going to do that, let's make the bedside control center, let's take it as far as we can. They went out and found the sound that is scientifically proven to be the most effective sound at waking people in induced states. Alcohol-induced, drug-induced, teenage-induced, okay? Hearing-impaired people, all right? Deaf people, things like that, all right? And then they put a puck on it. Now, this is slides between your mattress, and have you ever seen them cars that bounce? That's about what your bed's fixed to do, all right? But I'm going to show you how this works, and I'm going to kind of point this away from you. But, Lauren, I want you to put your hand on this. It's going to buck you, but it's not going to hurt you, okay? Let's say there's a fire in the attic. This is what it's going to sound like. And then it sends a signal to every sensor. And then every sensor in the network activates. You hit the button, it makes them all stop except right where your fire's at, okay? Now, watch this. That was the fire. The flame flashed and it was 3 beeps. Beep, 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 right? Let's say you have a carbon monoxide leak. Watch this. Put your hand there one more time. Now it's 4 beeps and the red triangle is flashing. But then it makes every sensor now all carbon monoxide sensors. So you instantly know what problem you got, so you instantly know what action to take, okay? Absolutely phenomenal feature, right? But we're not done. You have Wi-Fi in your home? You do? Fantastic. People ask, can it call the fire department? We don't want it to call the fire department. We want you to call the fire department because you're going to have a faster response time from the fire department, okay? So what we've done is created a comlink, and we let you monitor your own system for free. What happens is you label each sensor in every room that they go in, and if you have a fire in your living room, you and up to 7 other people are going to get a text from your living room sensor. And it's going to tell you how much smoke is in there. It'll tell you if it needs cleaning. It tells you the temperature and then your battery life, okay? If you have a carbon monoxide leak, it tells you an exact parts per million reading, okay? In your attic, it tells you your temperature. Like in my attic at home right now, it's 113 degrees, okay? But you can always monitor your system at any time, okay? And then you and up to 7 other people will get the text, and there's no monthly fees for that service. All right, isn't that cool?
That's cool.
All right, the last part of the thing network we have is called a water sensor. All right, do you mind grabbing me a little saucer, a little cup of water and a saucer from your friend? Grab that for me right quick, and then I'll show you how this works right there. Okay. All right, how this thing works is it's a water sensor, and this does freeze and flood, okay? So it reads temperature, and then it also fits into the network, and you can put them, if you have a water leak or whatever, it will also text you. It tells you how much water and then it also tells you the temperature, okay? But I'm gonna show you how this works. Just take this and set this right there in the water, and then the bed, it's connected with the bed shaker, okay? But you're gonna hear a different activation, so don't jump, okay? So set that in the water. Just put it right in there. There you go. Now it'll detect the water, and then it'll connect with the bed shaker. You hit the button. This one will be activating, so you now know where your water leak is. You and up to 7 other people will get the water leak text, so you can be anywhere in the world and you instantly know you have a water leak. Ain't that cool? Absolutely, okay? Absolutely phenomenal products to have in your home today. All right. Now, since 1971, Lauren, we've estimated over 2 million people have died or been injured from fire and carbon monoxide, and trillions of dollars have been lost in property damage and fires and flood. During the same time, we've never been informed of a loss of life due to the failure of our products. And we've protected millions of people and saved thousands of lives. My final questions are this. The night you have a fire, where do you want to be? Where do you want you and your family to be when the fire truck pulls up?
The mailbox.
Absolutely. Other than money, is there any reason you wouldn't want this protection in your home?
No.
Sure. Okay, I've shown you everything you need to know about OmniShield except where the sensors go and how you can get them. So if you'll take me a short walk through your home, I'll show you where they go, and if you ever do decide to get the protection, I'll show you how you can get them, okay? Now, we're gonna do that in just a minute, but what I'm gonna do is run through our referral program right quick with you, okay? I'm gonna set this right here, and then I'm gonna just go over this real quick. And then, Lauren, what I'll do is tell you how many you need, where they go, how much they cost, and all that. And if you ever did decide to get them, you would know that, okay?
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. Let me kind of clean up my act here a little bit. I'll clean as I go. All right. So let me tell you about our referral program. The first thing I want you to know about our referral program, Lauren, is that I am not asking you to give me people that are going to buy. We truly want to go and share our message, okay? The second thing is that I'm not going to get anybody mad at you. Let me tell you what a referral is not. A referral is not that you give me their information, I show up at their house and say that you sent me, okay? Because after they get the gun out of my face, who are they calling next? You, right? So I'm not going to get anybody mad at you. Let me tell you what a referral is. A referral is you give me their information, and then you contact them, and they give you permission, and then I contact them. If anybody tells you they're not interested, I give you my word, we will not contact them. Is that fair enough?
Yes.
All right, do you think your time was well spent here tonight?
Sure.
All right, very good. And then the next thing is it really helps me out because I'm in a program with my company called the RYI program, where I buy this, and I'm going to explain it to you in just a little bit. It's called Recover Your Investment, where I bought this product, but my company will give me the product, my money back, if I do so many presentations and get so many referrals. So it helps me out also, okay? But we got great gifts for you also, okay? So let me show you what we got. We've got a couple of gifts that we give. What we have right here is water sensors. If you give 10 referrals and you get them agree to watch, after 4 qualified families watch within 14 days, you will win 2 water sensors. Okay, so that's pretty cool,
yeah.
Right? And then if you don't want that, we have a $200 gift card. If you give 10 referrals and get them to agree to watch, 4 qualified families watch within 14 days, you get a $200 gift card.
Okay.
Or we have a 22-piece stainless steel waterless cookware set This retails for about $2,200. I don't know how our company gives this away, but it's absolutely phenomenal. But this is how much they really want to spread our message. So it's still only for qualified couples, okay? So that makes a great gift. And then we also have the ring. Do you know what this is? It's a doorbell. So I actually have the ring at my home, and it's pretty cool because at any time I can go and look, and that's my front porch right there. If anybody ever comes there, anybody ever rings my doorbell, I can be at your home and talk to them at any time.
Wow.
Okay, anywhere in the world. So it's an absolutely phenomenal product. I really love that. So for qualified couples watch, nobody has to buy or pay for anything. You get that gift also. Okay? Now, qualified. What does qualified mean? Let me tell you what the company says qualified means. Qualified is married, engaged, or living together. Both of them have to watch. Okay? They have to be gainfully employed or comfortably retired. The worst thing we can do is go show this to somebody we know can't get it and then make them want it, right? We got to show them within 14 days. They got to be in our marketing area. You know what I'm saying? They got to be from 21 years old to 100 years old, all right? I don't care how old they are on this end, but we got to be shown. They got to be in our marketing area. I don't want to go to Ohio. There's nothing in Ohio for me, right? Florida, I'll go to Florida, but not going to Ohio. But let me tell you what my qualifications are. Right? That's the company's. Mine are if they've got money problems, marital problems, or mental problems, it's just not the right time to go see them, all right? And I know they're in half your list, all right? All right, now, out of that, of those qualifications, who is the first person that you would like to see this program? Your mom. All right, now, let me tell you how the best way to pull referrals that we found. If you'll pull all your names first, and then go back and get the phone numbers, then get the cities, then get how long they lived there, then get the jobs, then you go back and qualify them. Because if you start and just pull a name, city, phone number, relationship to you, what's his job, what's her job, own, what's their age and married, and then go to the second one, they're going to be tired about that third one. But if you'll go ahead and pull all the names first, and you have 10 names, then what you do, they already gave you 10 names, so they have to give you all of that information. And another thing you can do is this right here. Now, Lauren, I told you earlier that I was going to try to give you a bottle of this burn gel for free. Now, if we can get 10 qualified names on here, I'll give you this for free. I'll do the writing, you do the talking, grab your cell phone, go through your contact list, and let's fill this out. Who's the first person that meet those qualifications?
My mama.
And then I'm going to pull all my names first. Who's the second one?
My daddy.
Your daddy. All right, I won't ever tell you daddy he was second, okay? All right, who's the third one?
My mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law. Who's the fourth one?
My brother.
Brother. Fifth one.
My other brother.
Brother. Who's sixth one?
My marketing director.
Marketing. All right, seventh.
My pastor.
Pastor. All right, we got 3 more. Come on, girl.
My neighbor.
Neighbor. 2 more.
Another neighbor.
Neighbor. 1 more.
Best friend.
Touchdown. That's your jail right there. Now let's qualify them.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to go back through there. Do they own or rent? Are they married? Do they work full-time or part-time? What's their relationship to you? What city do they live in? And I'm going to go through that, do every one of them. Okay? All right. Then we go do the walkthrough. All right? We do the walkthrough, and we're going to do another video for the walkthrough. All right? We're not going to do that today. We're going to have an actual training video for the actual walkthrough. So that's coming. All right. Now, we're going to do the close. We come back. We've already done the walkthrough. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the close. All right. Now, before we finish up, there are some questions I have to ask you. Is there any room that we did not put a sensor that you think we should?
No.
Do you understand why we put the sensors where we do?
Yes.
Would you, Lauren, let me ask you this. Would you feel safer with this network protecting your family?
Most definitely.
Let me show you how they showed me. It made sense to me, and I'm sure it will to you also, okay? We like to compare our protection to the cost of homeowners insurance. Now, insurance averages between $300 and $1,200 per year, often more. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
All right, now, is that about what yours cost?
About $1,000.
What does ours cost? Do you know?
About $1,015.
$1,015? Okay. So just for comparison, let us figure on the low side like $800 per year for insurance as an example. Okay. Do you remember how long the batteries were expected to last?
20 years.
All right, so if you take $800 for the cost of our insurance times 20 years, you're going to pay $16,000. And that's a good investment. And what does that protect?
My house, my stuff.
Absolutely. It protects your home and your contents, doesn't it?
Yeah.
On the other hand, Lauren, our product protects something quite different. They protect your home, pets, and most important, you and your family. And your family is what is most important, isn't it? Absolutely. Now, if you lose your home and your contents in a fire, the insurance company is going to pay you X amount of dollars, right?
Right.
Not only can a fire take your home and your contents, it can also take something you don't even want to talk about, can it? So if it makes sense, Lauren, to spend $16,000 to protect something you can always replace, wouldn't it make sense to protect something you can never replace?
Yes.
Well, here's the great news, Lauren. Our protection doesn't cost $16,000, okay? There's an old saying, though, time is money, and that's true for all of us, all right? So if we have to come back out and see you again, it costs us money. So if we can earn your business today, the company offers you a $1,000 discount for helping us out tonight. All right, if it just makes sense, and here's why. Protection from fire and flood is an out of sight and out of mind thing. And most people only think about fire 2 times. The first time is when you see the information tonight, and when do you think the next time will be?
When you have a fire.
Yeah, that's right, and it's after that it's too late. You know, Lauren, it doesn't matter how a fire starts. What's important is a matter how it ends, okay? With OmniShield, your family will be protected, and our goal is to make your property, pets, and your families always safe. With that said, let's take a look and see what it would take to protect you and your family, okay? All right, now, what you're gonna do now, guys, is use what we do. Is we use this sheet and we show 3 levels of protection, okay? You also have the new sheet from the home office that shows 3 levels of protection also, which is a phenomenal sheet to use also. But it's very important that you show 3 levels of protection, okay? And then what you want to do is when you have 3 levels of protection, you just want to ask the closing question. If you were to protect your family, which level of protection would you choose, Lauren?
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do the big one.
You're going to do the big one. Okay. I have one more question for you, Lauren, and this could be the most important question you've ever been asked.
Okay.
Should we go ahead and protect your family?
Yes.
You would? Okay, great. Welcome to the family.
Thanks.
All right, fantastic. All right, so that's pretty much the demo in the nutshell right there. That should show you the flow. That should show you a great way to study. Again, always remember, just use the book. At any time you forget what to say, just go to the next page, okay? Use your personality, use voice inflection, use your eyebrows. It's not what you say, but it's how you say it, okay? Use passion and show that you care about these people, and I promise you that the product will sell itself. And then the number one thing you need to do is focus on more demos. Demos solve all problems, okay?